Hey everyone, it's Matt, and today I am going to be telling you 68 facts all about, well, this thing I'm apparently flying through right now, and that would of course be outer space. So, I hope you'll enjoy learning a little bit about that big ol' place that our planet is technically suspended in, I guess. Either way, let's get started. The average temperature in the void of outer space is about negative 455 degrees Fahrenheit. Despite the enormous size of space, it actually contains very little matter. The space between galaxies contains an average of 1 atom per cubic meter. From what we're able to observe of our universe, there's estimated to be about 2 trillion galaxies. There is not a specific distance from the Earth's surface where space officially begins. However, a point roughly 62 miles above sea level, known as the Kármán line, is frequently used to distinguish between the Earth's atmosphere and outer space. The universe has been expanding for 13.8 billion years since being formed by the Big Bang. The Milky Way was not always as big and dense as it is today. In fact, it's grown over time by combining with other galaxies, such as the Sagittarius dwarf spheroidal. The core of the Milky Way galaxy contains a supermassive black hole with the mass of about 4.3 million suns. Every day, over 100 tons of matter from asteroids and comets enters Earth's atmosphere. However, most of it is burnt up before it reaches the ground. Asteroids are also known as minor planets or planetoids, and some have their own moons. Earth is struck by football field-sized objects from outer space roughly once every 2,000 years. Not only do asteroids contain various metals, but they also contain water. The moon experiences its own earthquakes, and it's believed that it has a molten core, just like Earth does. In the 1950s, a secret United States project known as Project A-119 was developed with the intent of detonating a nuclear bomb on the moon, both for research purposes and as a show of military power. However, it was decided that a moon landing would be more popular with the public and the international community. Our moon is slowly drifting further and further away. However, Mars's moon Phobos is drifting closer to Mars, and it will eventually be destroyed by the tidal forces of Mars, after which it will turn into a ring, kind of like the rings surrounding Saturn. Pluto was named after the Roman god of the underworld. This name was proposed by Venetia Burney, an 11-year-old girl from Oxford, England. Its 5 moons are named Charon, Hydra, Nix, Kerberos, and Styx. Uranus was discovered by Sir William Herschel in 1781, who initially thought it was a comet. Its name is based on the ancient Greek deity Uranus. Saturn is the 5th brightest object in the solar system, and the most distant planet that can be seen with the naked eye. Saturn has the most moons of any planet, with a total of 82 moons. Despite being the smallest planet in the solar system, Mercury is visible to the naked eye. 1 year on Mercury lasts only 88 Earth days. Mercury has a wrinkled surface. Its wrinkles can be up to a mile high and are called lobate scarps. I'm not sure if I pronounced that correctly though. Hopefully I did. On Venus, 1 day is longer than 1 year. 1 Venus day is 243 Earth days long, but 1 Venus year is 225 Earth days long. Venus has a grand total of 0 moons. The sky on Mars is pinkish red during the day and blue during the sunsets, the opposite of the sky on Earth. On Jupiter, a storm called the Great Red Spot has been going on for over 350 years. This storm is over twice the size of Earth. The largest moon in the solar system is Ganymede, which is a moon of Jupiter that is bigger than the planet Mercury. The average wind speed near the equator of Neptune is over 700 miles per hour, faster than the speed of sound on Earth. In some regions, wind speeds of nearly 1,600 miles per hour have been observed. The The sun of our solar system is the closest natural object to a perfect sphere that humans have been able to observe, with only a 10-kilometer difference between its polar and equatorial diameter. Once the sun has run out of hydrogen to burn, it will go on to burn helium for the next 130 million years. During this phase, it will expand dramatically, consuming Mercury, Venus, and the Earth. However, it will later collapse, becoming about the size of the Earth. The sun can reach temperatures of 15 million degrees Celsius. Because heat causes objects to expand, the sun would explode due to this temperature, if not for the gravitational force holding it together. The speed of light is about 186,282 miles per second. At this speed, light from the sun travels for 8 minutes before reaching Earth. When a spacecraft contacts Earth, the radio signal sent through space is about the equivalent of the power used to light a light bulb. Upon reaching Earth, this signal is only 1/billionth of 1/billionth of a watt. The total combined mass of every known asteroid in our solar system is less than 10% of the mass of Earth's moon. The largest canyon system in our solar system is Valles Marineris on Mars. It stretches more than 3,000 miles long and is 4 times the depth of Earth's Grand Canyon. Jupiter's moon, Io, has hundreds of volcanoes which erupt at up to 250 miles into the moon's atmosphere. The largest volcano in the solar system is Olympus Mons on Mars, which is roughly the size of Arizona and 3 times the height of Mount Everest. Although the presence of life on other planets has not been confirmed, microbial life is considered likely enough on Mars that spacecraft are sterilized before being sent there to avoid potentially affecting what life may be there. It is suspected that there may be a very large, undiscovered planet at the edge of our solar system, which would help explain some unexplained movements of objects beyond Neptune's orbit. Neptune absorbs less heat from the sun than it radiates from itself. Uranus's moon Miranda has a surface covered in distinct, unexplained boundaries or cracks between segments of craters, ridges, and other odd variations in the landscape. Scientists are unsure of the reason for this, but it's suspected that the moon may have been smashed apart before coalescing back together. is a hurricane-like storm on Saturn, nicknamed the Hexagon. The Hexagon has been active for decades and is named after its unexplained hexagonal shape. The Sun's atmosphere is hotter than its surface. While the surface is about 10,000 degrees Fahrenheit, the atmosphere has temperatures in the millions of degrees. This difference has not yet been fully explained. The number of stars in the universe is not known, but to get an idea of how many stars there may be, consider this. The Milky Way galaxy on its own has an estimated 200 to 400 billion stars, and there's estimated to be 2 trillion galaxies in the universe. NASA's spacesuits were built in 1974, with each costing an estimated $15 to $22 billion at the time. NASA has not built any more mission-ready suits since then, leaving only 4 remaining today. It's believed that the planet 55 Cancri-E may have a surface made out of diamond and graphite. Due to the lack of atmosphere, meaning a lack of wind on Earth's moon, the astronaut footprints left there will likely last for millions of years, as long as nothing disrupts them. Due to a process called cold welding, separate pieces of the same metal will permanently bond together if they touch in the void of outer space. On Earth, the air and water that exists between separate objects prevents this. About 10 billion light-years away, there exists a water vapor cloud in space that contains 140 trillion times the mass of water in Earth's oceans. The Sun accounts for 99.86% of the mass in our solar system. There is an unexplained force pulling on galaxy clusters that is suspected to be something outside the visible universe. Whatever it may be, appears to be causing the entire universe to have a sort of tilt, resulting in a consistent flow of matter towards one direction. Astronauts who've been on spacewalks have reported that their spacesuits smell like gunpowder or sulfur upon returning from the void of outer space. There are galaxies that appear to be dead, producing no new stars and only containing dying ones. One is nicknamed the Galactic Graveyard. There is a planet 30 light-years from Earth with such intense gravitational forces that the planet's water has been formed into ice that burns instead of melting. Exoplanet HD 189733b has winds of up to 5,400 miles per hour and rain made of molten glass. scientists have proposed that white holes may exist. White holes could be the opposite of black holes, regions of space-time where nothing can enter and potentially anything can be ejected. Some have wondered if the Big Bang was an example of a white hole. The Carrington Event was a geomagnetic storm that occurred in 1859 after a coronal mass ejection from the Sun hit the Earth. This resulted in bright, colorful auroras observed around the planet, along with severe damage to Earth's telegraph systems. Neutron stars are so dense that just 1 teaspoon's worth of them would weigh 1 billion tons. Imagine that density for an object 12.5 miles in diameter, and you can imagine just how heavy each one really is. Despite their incredible mass, neutron stars can spin as fast as 43,000 times per second. It's predicted that in 4 billion years, the Milky Way will collide with the Andromeda Galaxy, resulting in the scrambling of stars and planets, some of which will ultimately be destroyed. If you were able to walk in a straight line from Earth to the Moon, it would take you 9 years to travel the 239,000-mile distance. Stars don't actually twinkle. The twinkling we see is the result of each star's visibly tiny beam of light being refracted by Earth's atmosphere. On Mercury, temperatures can fluctuate by over 1,000 degrees Fahrenheit in a single day. Some stars are so far away that when you look up at the sky, some of the photons that enter your eye are millions of years old. If placed directly next to each other, all of the planets in our solar system would be able to fit between Earth and the Moon with nearly 3,000 miles of space left over. Some parts of the universe are unable to be observed from Earth simply because light from them hasn't had enough time to reach us yet. The largest known star in the universe is UY Scuti, which is about 1,700 times the size of our Sun. The Voyager 1 probe, launched in 1977 to study Jupiter and Saturn, is expected to survive longer than Earth itself, drifting through space indefinitely, even after the Sun consumes our planet. The amount of gravity in our universe isn't equal to the amount of observable mass, leaving the remaining source, or sources of gravity, a mystery. The existence of dark matter has been proposed as an answer to this question, as it would make up the remaining mass, but be difficult to detect due to its lack of interaction with electromagnetic radiation. And finally, according to a theory of quantum mechanics called disappear forever, instantly, at any time.